what the hell? This man is wearing a thong and 7-inch heels.
Yes.
And there's all these beautiful dolls everywhere. And then it was kind of like, it worked. Call me, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Everyone was happy. I looked across and I was like, holy hell. Everyone I love is right here in this room. And oh my God.
Yeah, I'm crying too.
Yeah. Everyone in this room, and I love them. And
It's just so beautiful.
I've like opened this door to just having fucking everyone just have fun. I had my sex change operation. I had my sexual reassignment surgery.
Yeah.
Whatever was going to happen with the surgery, I just needed to go for it. And if I was going to die, if I was going to do this, it was written in my life that this was going to happen. The recovery is brutal. And those were really dark times and really awful conversations I had to have with myself about reasons why and this, that, the other.
What's been the most challenging times in your life so far?
Now, I feel like we're on a really good page and I don't want to bring it down, but the most challenging time for me was, I didn't know what transness was. I didn't know what transsexualism was. I didn't know that this was medically possible, physically possible, surgically possible.
How did your family and especially your father react?
Oh, well, darling, let's get into that.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Trans Crush, the podcast where every Thursday we dive deep into life's stories, experiences, and dating of trans women. I'm your host Pevi, and I'm so happy you are here with us today. And today I'm very excited because today our guest is Jacqui Devon. Jacqui Devon is my dear friend, first of all. She's a trans woman and also a nightclub diva, because you might know her from the London party scene. And I'm so happy she is in the studio with us today. Hi, Jacqui.
Hello.
Welcome to Trans Crush.
Well, I'm happy to be here, finally.
Finally.
Bon dia, buongiorno, buenos dias, good morning. We are on the pod. We've been talking about this for
Months. Yeah.
trying to get a date on. And then I even called you yesterday and was like, babe, should we? And you were like, no, you're coming round and we're filming the podcast.
We need to make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm
And
so
here we
glad
are.
you are here, honestly, because we know each other for years now. And when I started Trans Crush, you were on my mind straight away. So I'm glad that our schedules aligned and we are here.
And we're doing it.
We are queer and we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, and we're going to tell you all about it.
So let's crush it.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
So my first question for every trans guest on the show is the question, what makes you happy, to kind of get to know you straight away. So what makes you happy, Jacqui?
So there's lots of things that make me happy. Shopping makes me happy. Materialism makes me happy. But something that I've really been kind of like homing in on and kind of nurturing with regards to happiness recently is reflection. I am a girl about town. Like, I do a lot, and I kind of fill my days with a lot of stuff. I like to be a girl on the go. And recently I've kind of been taking time to reflect on my days, the things that I like, the things that I didn't like, the things that are good, and the things that I hold dear. And like, whether it be recent times where I've spent time with my family, or nights out, or certain moments with my friends, I've really kind of been taking the time to not take life for granted. In that essence, kind of like, I'm always kind of like, if I'm spending time in bed, or if it's the evening, if I'm journaling, it's always time. The things that make me happy can be loads of little pockets of joy throughout the day and celebrations throughout the day. But taking that time to like reflect on them is something that's really kind of edited my mindset recently, in the essence of like, I cherish them and I remember them and I pocket them in my brain so that I have kind of like an arsenal of really fun things that happened to me recently, so I don't take anything in my life for granted.
I love that. That's a beautiful answer.
It's something that I've been kind of working on a lot more recently with being more mindful. And yeah, I love it. Like, I love finishing my day and then having like this smile of this drink I had with my friend, or this moment, or, you know, this silly thing that happened, and just giggle about it. rather than doom scroll before bed.
Yeah.
And that's something that's been bringing me a lot of joy and bringing me a lot of kind of clarity in my life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's something that we all need to learn. Choose this over doom scrolling.
Yeah, well, it takes over, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
we're in the age of doom scroll. Like, the content is out there. You're currently consuming it, and it's fabulous.
Yeah.
But you also have to take time for you.
Yeah, that's
like
so
you
true.
absolutely have to take time for you. And I've been giving myself that time, awarding myself that time, and taking that minute, and it's working. So yeah.
Yeah. Have you been always like that, or is it just a
Oh my
recent
God,
thing?
no.
Yeah.
I've been very kind of, for lack of a better word, manic a lot of my life. Like, I'm in my 30s now, my early 30s.
Wow.
But my 20s were a roller coaster. And I never took that time or awarded myself that moment of kind of just clarity and pause. I was always like, another club, no sleep,
next
plane,
place.
bus. Yeah. And I was really doing it. I was chasing the money, I was chasing the glamour, and I was
Yeah.
chasing like a life that was like fast paced and great. And then only kind of recently was when I honed in and I slowed down a little bit, only in the last few years. And it's been really good. Been really good. I found new passions, um, additional passions. I still like going out. I still like to be around like the hospitality industry. I'm a bar girl. I want to jump from bar to bar. I want to taste the cocktail,
Yeah.
but having these kind of like quiet moments is really kind of helping me find balance. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, which is, it's good. It's good. I'm in a good place. I'm in a happy place. And
Let's
yeah.
hope it's gonna stay this way.
And if it doesn't, at least I'll have the tools to fix it.
I love that.
Yeah.
What tools do you have?
So I do a lot of kind of like, well, therapy. I'm restarting. Well, we're jumping straight in with the goss.
Yeah.
Okay, so therapy, absolutely talking therapy. I'm restarting CBT for things that I don't feel like I finished completely.
That's cognitive behavioral therapy,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I really want to start doing it. It's
Yeah.
been recommended to me by so many people.
So many
Yeah.
people talk about it and its benefits. And like that's a tool that I want to use.
Yeah.
But also finding that peace, finding that calm. I've really kind of like honed in, and that's a tool of like to stop, to reflect. And yeah, that's where I'm
Yeah.
at. And that's the tools that I've currently been using. A lot of kind of more mindfulness, more kind of like staying present. I recently started yoga. I was in Spain recently.
Nice.
And I was in Spain recently, and the place I was staying at was offering like yoga every single day at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, do you know what? Hungover or not, or, like this.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm going to commit to doing this for 7 days. And it works. It works. Like mind, body, and soul. It works. So
So
I'm gonna,
true.
yeah, I want to start getting into it in London because I don't have a space or a spot or a yogi in London.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the one thing that I want to start.
Nice.
Yeah.
So let's go a little bit back into your life in childhood. What are like how was your childhood like in the first place?
From an overall perspective.
Let's say from the age of, let's say the first 10 years of your life.
Okay, so the first 10 years, I would say I had a very normal childhood. I'm from a working class background, so my mum and dad worked every single day of their lives to put food on the table, to provide like me and my lovely sister everything that we wanted, or anything that we wanted. They worked hard, and I am from a working class background where the hustle was real, and it was there and present. So I had a very normal childhood, very normal kind of like platonic family growing up, and it was very, very nice. Apart from, I would say, and I would say kind of my internal conversations with myself, if that's makes sense. Like from the outside, everything's perfect and it was good. It was a very functional kind of family situation. But if I look back on it now, I would definitely say that me, secretly, I had an undiagnosed gender dysphoria that didn't so much back then, like in the 90s, have gender dysphoria, a term of gender dysphoria. There was something like kind of like omnipresent in my life, or present in my life, that was there.
So it was before the age of 10.
I would say it was before the age of 10.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because um, my family, not to give too much away because it's the internet, but my family, my dad is a side of all boys and my mum is a side of all girls. And my parents had a son and a daughter. And I obviously was meant to fulfill that role of a son. But even from a very early on age, I didn't meet the quota on that. My interests weren't there. Like, it wasn't a thing. So apart from that, fantastic childhood. I could never discredit my parents. Like, they did good and they worked hard to do it, which I'm so proud of them for. But on the inside, me, honey, I was doing bits. Like, there was something going on. We figured out what it was. Like,
Yeah.
I figured out what it was as well, which is amazing. But yeah, that was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from the age of, let's say, the teenage years, was there, did you, like, when did you first kind of realize that you are a woman? Like, you knew you were a woman?
Yeah. So I think it all started kicking off when I hit double figures. Like, childhood was great, but from like 10, 11 was when you hit like secondary school, high school. And that was a bit of a game changer for me. In the big school, things were different, and I experienced quite a lot of bullying. I found myself kind of I'm not from London. I live in London. I've lived in London for a very long time, but I'm not from here.
Yeah.
I'm from the countryside. So for me, I was always looking for something that matched me or something that kind of like I aligned with, and it wasn't there. Like, it wasn't there. And I found myself kind of watching like late night TV to see like my little TV, the tiny square TVs that you had when back in those times. I would watch the TV and be like, what's there? And on these late night TVs, you'd see clubs, you'd see glamour. And this one time I saw this TV show on like Channel 5 or something, which was about like club kids of London. And it showed this like really crazy gender diverse thing. And at this time it was the age of the internet as well. So like there was little snippets of it here and there on MySpace or something like that, or Bebo or something like that. So I was in hunt of this like glamour, this faux glamour, this campery, if you will, which I was really drawn to. And then I found and discovered this TV show about London club kids. And when I saw that, I was really experiencing a lot of bullying at school, experienced the bullying at school, had that, and I actually had to leave school at quite an early age into high school.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't finish it.
Wow.
I didn't finish high school because I had like quite severe bullying.
Wow.
And then one day, because of that, I had a lot of free time because I was finishing my GCSEs in a nearby college. And I jumped the train because you could back then. The barriers weren't censored
Yeah.
like that. And I jumped the train from the countryside to London.
Wow. It's like a
And-
movie.
Yeah, and I went in hunt
Find these clubs.
of clubs at the age of like 11, 12.
Yeah.
I discovered Brick
Wow.
Lane, which was not safe back then. And I went on the hunt for this campery, this clubs, and this queer culture that I didn't even really know was queer. Like, I was just like, this is an interest of mine.
Or like, I belong here, kind of like. Oh,
Yeah, I'm drawn to it and I need to know more.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of how it all kicked off, was in
Yeah,
the teen years. Was
yeah.
I think I finished high school. All of this awfulness happened at around like 12, 13. And then I was doing GCSEs during the week. And then my parents knew none the wiser. God bless them. Even if they'd known, they would have lost their mind. But yeah, I was jumping the train to London and in hunt of kind of
Have you told them?
what? Yeah, I
Yeah.
told them drunk recently. A few years ago, I told them, I was like, just to let you know, this is what happened when I was a teenager, and like,
Yeah.
it's not your fault. And
Yeah.
like, I was never staying at this person's house who didn't exist. I was like, yeah, jumping to London and doing craziness.
Love it.
Yeah. So that's kind of like where it all first started and it's very so much started because I didn't know what transness was. I didn't know what transsexualism was. I didn't know that this was medically possible, physically possible, surgically possible. So I just kind of went in hunt of, just like this thing that spoke to me. And I remember I saw a photo, and this is crazy to say, but I saw a photo at my like very young age of Amanda Lepore. And I was like, oh my God, that's possible. And then that was kind of where the transness started like unraveling in my identity. And then as soon as I knew that you could be transgender, that was when I started kind of playing with gender diversity and kind of like the gender queer, the androgyny and things like that. That was where it really kind of sparked off, which was kind of like very present through a lot of my early teenage years. And then at 18, I moved to Ibiza, or 18 or 19, I moved to Ibiza. And when I got there, the way Spanish language is, you have A's and you have O's, and people were just referring to me in the female tone of ah. And that was
Yeah.
when the penny dropped. And I was like, oh, this is what we're doing. And I kind of knew, and I definitely kind of like had it in my vision. It was on my vision board, my mental vision board. But that was when I was like, okay, cool, yeah, we're gonna be embarking on this transition.
Yeah.
And that was how Jacqui Devon came to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And at this point, you were around your 20, did you say 18, 19?
So I started transitioning at 19.
19, yeah. And how did your family and especially your father react?
Oh, well, darling, let's get into that. So I started transitioning in Ibiza. I lived there with a very close friend of mine. He was also transitioning at the same time. And she was kind of like very so much like, for lack of a better term, balls to the walls, like, let's go, let's do it, let's walk into the pharmacy. I'm ordering the estrogen and I'm buying it and we're going for it. Where I was more kind of like given this opportunity of like, okay, I'm going to see how she gets on. And if this goes bad, then I'm safe. Which is very...
Guinea pig.
Yeah, exactly. Guinea pig. Yeah, but I wouldn't say that. It was very so much more like a platonic friendship.
Of course.
But so that kind of started, and I started growing my hair out in Ibiza, and I started kind of like finding myself, exploring with myself. I mean, the clothes there are fantastic. It's very bohemian.
Yeah.
So I really kind of started absorbing kind of a lot more feminine energy and taking note. And my parents came to visit me, obviously, because I was living there. So they came to visit me, and I came out to them in this tiny little bar in San Antonio. And I was just like, so this is what's happening. And they were like, yeah, sure, whatever. But it was because they were in holiday mode.
Right.
And like, obviously they were like, yeah, sure, okay, da da da. It's like 11 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night, and we're in a bar in Ibiza, and your child's just told you that they're trans. Like, sure, whatever, like, this is just what's gonna happen. And then a few months later, I moved back to the countryside, and I was like, yeah, this is a thing. Like, I'm going to the doctors, I'm gonna get this all sorted. And the tone was very different. Now, my mother is my rock. She taught me everything about my life, and I love her to pieces. Like, she is my rock in this world, and she saved my life a fair few times, like through childhood, through that whole traumatic bullying experience. She was there. So she was, at this point in my life, incredible as well, and very supportive. And I didn't really have a relationship with my father like that. I know that he always meant well, and he always like was there and trying to do the best he could do, but we didn't have that conversation. We didn't have that dialogue, even though we lived in the kind of a similar house, like the same house, and we're in similar environments. So my mum dealt with it really well, but my dad wasn't really there, which was at that time was okay. It was good. It worked.
Yeah. And then how were your like first years of transitioning? Were you still living in Ibiza, or you moved to London?
So I moved to back to the countryside. So I lived in Norfolk. And that was where I kind of like started my transition. And it was very kind of different back then. So it was kind of like the 2010s. It might be different. It might be different now. I don't know. I don't know what the gender pathway is. But back then, you had to have 6 sessions with a counsellor, 6 sessions with a psychologist, from a GP referral, and then you would be referred to the gender clinic. So it was like the pathway was a little bit more kind of vigorous. Like it was like, you need to do this, that, the other, and you kind of got psychoanalyzed, which I must say for me was a blessing, because going through that process and jumping through those hoops really affirmed to me that I was doing the right thing. And also like when you tell these things to like a trained professional, honey, if they're ticking boxes, then it's okay. You know, because I didn't know the rule book. There wasn't a rule book back then. So you just went in with honesty, and then you just kind of what happened. Now, did it mean that I had to self-medicate on estrogen for a few years whilst all of this was happening?
Absolutely.
On rogue pharmacies? Yes, I was doing that. I was absolutely doing that. And just, yeah, that was my life. And I was very open and honest with my doctors about it.
You do what you need to do in the moment.
But then when I jumped through all of those hoops and got to the GIC, it was like, name changed, already on estrogen, here's my bloods, let's go.
I'm
done.
ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. And actually, I'm more ready than you. So sign this prescription. Sign it, girl, because doctor, sorry, sign it. Let's go. Like, come on, I'm bored. I'm done. And I've done the work, so you don't have to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, do me a favor and do what I tell you to do.
Yeah.
Because I know better than you, and I've been self-medicating for some time now.
Yeah, but I had I walked in there with I think 18 months worth of blood results, every 6 months blood results.
Okay.
And I remember him saying to me, "How did you even get the doctor to take these bloods?" And I was like, well, because I told him that I was taking drugs from the internet and that I needed to make sure that I'm not dying. And he was like, "Oh, okay, cool, yeah." And then, yeah. But the GIC did me really, really well. They listened to me. They took me very seriously. And I was I'm a very fortunate person that I was just before the really big influx of trans acceptance in ourselves. I think that people being trans really kind of boomed. And people being kind of open and honest, where I think in previous generations there are people that are you have later transitioners where
because there's no representation.
Yeah, and it was kind of a different world. There wasn't rule books, there wasn't the internet like there is today. So people transitioned a little bit later. So I was very fortunate that I was before that kind of big trans acceptance thing happened, where people started accepting themselves and transitioning, which got me through the queue a little bit faster, which was still quite fast back then. Well, it was still quite long back then even. But yeah, I was very fortunate.
Yeah.
And that was kind of how it all started. And then I realized that I was not a small town girl. I was very big fish, very small pond. And that was when I embarked on my way and my journey to London.
Love that.
And just jumped. I had a really good opportunity come up, and I just decided it's now. It's now. Let's do it. Yeah.
So let's go into your career now.
Okay.
I know you've been working in hospitality for a long time.
Yeah,
and
a very
you've
long
got
time.
so many experiences and stories. And I know you. I mean, I've met you at the box, but we both were there for fun. But I remember you a lot from the Q Bar in Soho.
Q Bar in Soho, yeah.
So yeah, tell us more about your career.
So career-wise, I moved to London. I worked in a clothing shop. It was not for me, and I was like, let me get behind a bar. I knew it from Ibiza. I knew that vibe, and I was like, let me just do this because tips and money.
Yeah.
And you need money to transition. You need money.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, let's do it. So I got behind a bar on Carnaby Street, and I started working. But I was doing social media. I actually had a YouTube channel at the time. Don't search for it. It's all gone. So I did that, and I was doing the social media for this bar. I was working in this bar, and then I slowly started climbing up the corporate ladder, or not the corporate ladder, but the hospitality ladder, and then went back to doing doors and then moving into events and business development. And then I was in this place where I was a business development manager for this cabaret bar in Covent Garden. It was camp. It was fun. My bills were paid. The drinks were free. It was nice. And I can't remember how Q Bar came about, but I was doing business development and I was moonlighting as a bartender in this gay bar called the Cock Tavern in Kennington, South London. It's this bear bar, and I loved it because I was this token trans girl in the bar, and I got to be a little bit flamboyant with it all. And then someone was like, you should apply for this job. So I applied for Q Bar. And when I went to the interview, they were like, are you the girl that works at the Cock Tavern? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, I think I've seen you strip down to a swimsuit and do a Baywatch as people like put their fingers over the guns and sprayed you with water. And I was like, yeah, that's me. And it was the assistant manager role. And they were like, come in, we'll train you up. We want your energy in the bar.
Yeah.
You're crazy. And I was like, yeah, I'm crazy.
Because
Let's
your
go.
energy is amazing. And you always...
Thank you so much.
You're always so radiant. And I mean, even if we, both have dark days, there's always this beautiful, pure, good intention energy.
I'm a good time girl. I am out for a good time and I want to have a good time and I want to enjoy life. No matter everything that's like going on in the world, I want to have fun. And not to discredit anything that's happening in the world, but like, I feel like we as humans and as trans people as well deserve a little pocket of happiness.
Oh,
so yeah,
100%.
I'm a good time girl for a good time call because I'm going to be having fun.
And that's why hospitality is the perfect place for
works.
you.
Yeah, it worked very well for me. So so I started working at Q Bar,
Bar,
and I was there for like a month and I was being inducted in. It was amazing. Like, bar full of gay men to protect you, very sassy, very cool. And obviously going in at a managerial level was really good as well. And then after a month, like 4 weeks, the general manager just walked out. And I was like, huh? He just left. One night he wrote the end of day shift and and I don't want to be spilling Q Bar's tea because that's not what I'm trying to do. And I don't actually know it, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, he left.
How it happened.
And then the next day it was like, Jacqui, do you think that you can hold the fort?
Wow.
And I did for like a year and a half, like maybe 2 years.
And it was the first time you were general manager?
Yeah, baby. I was in training.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, cool. Bull by the horns. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I became a manager.
So I know you from Q Bar from the night called Bombshell, which is a trans night every single Wednesday.
Yeah,
I think it's
Wednesdays.
still happening since...
Yeah, it's still
every
going.
Wednesday,
It's still
years
going
and years,
strong.
right? I remember when I moved to London 9 years ago now. In a few days, it's going to be 9 years. Crazy. I remember one of the first nights I went to was Bombshell. But that time it was still on First Street it was called Moth or Muse? Muse Bar. Was it Muse Club?
It was at Shadow Lounge. That's where it started.
And there was another one before Q Bar.
The one, Bar 52.
It's like next to, I think, the Zoo Bar or like... It was downstairs
baby.
on
Bar
First
52,
Street.
so like a blue bar as you go in, and then there's like a little round a bit and down.
No, it was like stairs straight down.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so I used to go there almost every Wednesday because, I was in my early 20s. I had the energy to go out clubbing the time. So I remember you from there and...
you still have the energy, girl.
I don't know about
you still
that.
have it.
But yeah, I was full of light and life. And I used to go there every Wednesday and I remember you from there. So do you have any fun stories from Bombshell or do you have any nice...
Well, Bombshell...
When you look back...
Yeah, I have very fond memories of Bombshell and also I have like a good kind of like standing of it because when I first moved to London, within the first 2-3 weeks of being there, of moving to London, I started dating this guy. It ended awfully 2 years later. So when I left Cuba, I moved across to be this is crazy. This is like, I have the bad juju on this one. So I move across to be, what the hell? This man is wearing a thong and 7-inch heels.
Yes.
And there's all these beautiful dolls everywhere. And then it was kind of like, it worked.
You've got a CV, you've got the experience, you've got a charisma, you've got a talent, you've got a contact.
Yeah.
10 out of 10, right here.
Whatever was going to happen with the surgery, I just needed to go for it. And if I was going to die, if I was going to do this, it was written in my life that this was going to happen. Yeah. And I found myself at one point helpless, homeless, and not knowing what to do with not a big circle of and big support network around me. So I kind of felt like I was shortchanged with regards to my introduction to the scene and learning and making new friends in London because I've been with this guy for so long. So Q-Bar was kind of like my intro into the scene and into making friends. And that really worked with bombshell because it was like my people, and it was also an opportunity for me to like meet people, learn things, but also I was working, and it gave me kind of like a motherly way of protecting the dolls, like, and not just on a t-shirt, honey, from the chasers in their club, from the riff raff. I was the manager of this club,
Yeah.
and I made friends with Lloyd,
Yeah.
who ran it, and Tasty
Tasty
Tim,
Tim, yeah.
which was amazing because Tasty Tim is like way back in disco and house.
Oh, yeah.
Lloyd is a gag. She's fun. Well, he's fun now, because he's stopped the drag now,
Yeah.
honey. And I got to meet so many amazing people, and like whether it be gender non-conforming people, trans people, from all walks of life, from
Yeah.
everywhere, all over the world, because Q Bar is like bang in the center of Soho,
Yeah.
Leicester Square. I also got to meet loads of drag race girls and
Yeah.
loads of like campery and fun. So it was like a perfect little spot for me. And
Yeah. Did you feel really safe and inspired as well?
yeah, it was just really nice to be a part of something and actually
Mm.
just like be around and chit chat and gag with and giggle and have fun
Yeah.
at work. Like, not many people can say that, like, the drag race girls from America are running through the doors and they're going to do an
Yeah.
impromptu conversation. And it also taught me loads because I love music.
Mm.
So I was around decks and I was around lighting, and I got to do like big shows and
Yeah.
not do like all the lighting tech of this like underground club in Soho.
Mm.
It was a very niche, very bohemian moment in my life, and I loved it.
Oh, that's so
It
beautiful.
was so cute, and I look back very fondly on my days of Cuba, right all the way up until the end.
Yeah.
And the end was kind of just after COVID and the pandemic, and I was like,
Yeah.
the hospitality industry changed and it moved, and I was like, maybe I'm going to try and take a step down from being front of house and being in it. And I switched away.
Yeah.
I moved to the clubs, but in the daytime.
Yeah, that was my next question because I also remember you working at the Windmill in Soho.
The Windmill Soho, yes.
Windmill Soho, which was a beautiful, fun place. It's closed now, right?
It's closed
Yeah.
now. I don't know why. I
Yeah.
left. I left before it closed. The rumor is it's me. No, I'm joking. No, it's closed now. But that was a moment in time.
Yeah.
And that was like a pinnacle moment in London nightlife for me. That, honey, like that was the point. The point of I was like, okay, we're doing something here. Because the Windmill was doing all of this like crazy cabaret, high end, high budget cabaret in this 3-course meal, big soiree, and then in the evening it turned into like a deep house, Afro house,
Yeah.
cool
I
club
love them DJs there.
with lasers and stuff. So when I left Cuba, I moved across to be this is crazy. This is like, I have the bad juju on this one. So I move across to be a reservationist because I'm like, let me step away from this
Yeah.
front of house running around 14-hour days, rah, 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 and move into this reservationist role for the company that owns the Windmill, Cream Group. Mwah, stunning company. And I move across and I'm
Yeah.
like, cool. And then 3 weeks in, the head of reservations is like, I think I'm going to leave London and move to Bali. And he's a friend of mine. That's how I kind of like sidestepped into this
Yeah.
role. And I was like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah, I think I'm going to move to Bali. I was like, well, who's going to take your job? And he was like, you.
Wow.
And I was like, but yeah, wow. But also at this point in my head internally, I was like, this again?
Yeah.
Like this again? I keep getting given these responsibilities that I'm not trained already for. So I became the head of reservations for Cream Group, which was restaurants and really cool high-end clubs in Mayfair and Soho. And I just hit the ground running and I ran with it. And I was like, let's do it.
Wow.
Let's go. Let's like,
It's
do you
so
know,
incredible.
business.
You just like saw the opportunity and you grabbed it.
yeah, I just ran with it.
Yeah.
And through mistakes, through learning,
Yeah.
through so much hard graft and like so much work. I just taught myself and built a team, and the phones were cool. The
Yeah.
phones were answered, the
Answered,
emails
yeah.
were responded
Yeah.
to. And then once everything was kind of set and the Windmill was up and running, you know very well because you were one of the guests of mine.
Yeah.
I used to host a table in the clubs.
And you always look after us. You always
Yeah.
took us under your wings.
There was tequila, there was
There
champagne.
was lots of tequila and champagne. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
a good time. It was a good time.
It
I
was-
loved the music. I loved the the interior, the aesthetics of the club as
Yeah,
well.
everything red velvet, very boudoir, very
Beautiful. Yeah,
burlesque.
I
It
always
was,
felt good and
yeah.
also safe in the club, considering that like not majority of the venue was, I assume, straight cis het, you know,
Yeah, I think
like
it
yeah,
was,
like,
yeah.
and it was always like the our table or a few tables were like
Oh, I
queer
made
club.
sure, well,
You that was your responsibility
yeah,
to
that was
that. Yeah,
essentially my
yeah, yeah,
job,
yeah,
was
your
making
job.
sure that there was
But
cool people in the
yeah, I was
club.
gonna just say like I always felt safe in that venue. I don't know, it's because it was Soho and everyone who goes to Soho for a night out kind of expects that they will come across with trans people or
Yeah. Like,
gender non-conforming people.
yeah.
So I always kind of felt safe. I never felt threatened by
Yeah. I
the
mean, I
whole
think,
energy as a whole. You
yeah,
know?
I think it helped also that I worked for the
Yes,
company. So do you know what I
you
mean?
gave them.
I could pull strings and make things happen,
Yeah.
which was incredible. But also, like, the one thing that the Windmill had to have, such an iconic venue in London and in Soho, with a huge legacy of being a strip club with the royals and all
Yeah.
of this, it needed to have really cool people in it.
Yeah.
And I remember I had a meeting with my boss and he was like, "You know really cool people. I know you know really cool
Yeah.
people." I said, "Well, yeah, I got a black book." And he said, "Invite them."
Yeah.
And from this point on, like, every single time the club opened, and I employed loads of club kids, loads of gays, loads of like queer people, there was this energy in the club, and a lot of the straight and heterosexual and very kind of like the tourists and things like that, they didn't know what this was, but they walked in and they said, "What the hell? This man is wearing a thong and 7-inch heels, and there's
Yes.
all these beautiful dolls everywhere." And then it was kind of like, it worked.
Yeah.
What worked worked.
Jaw dropping a little bit, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah,
them. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
That's why you should employ talented trans people
yeah,
in
and
your
you should dress
office.
up. And you should, yeah, exactly. They come with more than just the 9 to 5, honey. But yeah, and then so we just had that huge moment in time, and I was at that point as well. I was chasing money, and I was doing the door and promotion for Fire and Vauxhall
Yeah.
on Saturdays. So I was kind of like here, there, and everywhere on the scene. And then, yeah, it was just a great, great party moment for me until I decided I need to stop. I need to stop. And I think that kind of came in turn with at Cream and when I was doing all the clubs. I had my sex change operation. I had my sexual reassignment surgery.
Yeah.
And I was doing all of this, also recovering. And I was given the time. I had the 12 weeks off and I was taking it slower back into
Yeah.
it. But I really had this kind of moment where I was like coming up to 30, or maybe I was 30. I can't remember. It's been 2.5. So I was coming up to 30 and I was like, I've got my vagina. I've had bottom surgery. Can you say vagina on this podcast?
Oh, it's your organ. Of course you can.
Okay, yeah.
That's my podcast.
My
so
vulva was present, and I was like, let me try slow paced life. I've never tried a slow paced life. I have been running since the age of like 13, so let me see what slow paced life is.
Yeah.
And that's where I moved into what I'm doing now, which is luxury lifestyle management, and I'm
Yeah.
a dining specialist.
Love it.
So I get to eat in some amazing places. Still got my toes in that hospitality industry.
Yeah.
But now I just I make sure that I tell other people really cool places to go and manage
love that.
some diaries.
I love that. So, Jacqui, when you look back at your career, the hospitality experiences, all the clubs, and the work you're doing right now, do you think it was kind of all connected? That the job you're doing right now, the fact that you were
Yeah.
working in hospitality before, it
Oh
really
my-
helped you, and now you got experience and all of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
100% yes.
Yeah.
Like I know fine dining, I know reservations, I know nightlife, I know what's cool. Like there's a lot of Instagram. You can look really cool on Instagram and not be cool. And I know the kind of hot spots and the things to look out
In terms of
for
energy, because you can feel the energy
of a
in the pictures
restaurant.
on Google
Yeah.
Photos.
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
Google reviews are left by people that write Google reviews.
Yeah.
Like, can you really trust
Yeah.
someone that goes and writes
You
something
know, also
online?
like when I go online and like I go to a new country or new city and I see the pictures of the bar that was recommended to me by a local. If I see the pictures, I would never go there. But he said like, or like anyone they say like, oh, it's the best place to go. It's busy from this time, and it's just another great example that you do need recommendations from people who know that area.
Yeah.
So that's why you come handy.
Essentially, what I do now
Yeah,
is
because
kind of,
you've been around, you know the places. You can recommend where to go for this steak, where to go for this night out.
And all the people that I've met in these journeys and these different job roles are now still in those fields. So like with regards to a really hot restaurant, Piranha, when that opened, it was so hard to get a table in London. And I knew the people that owned it.
Yeah.
Contacts, and I was like, call me, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Everyone was happy. So yeah, it definitely, luxury lifestyle management and dining and dining specialism is very niche. It's very big city orientated. Like this doesn't exist in other places.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything's kind of led up to this point, and I'm very comfortable now. And yeah, I'm good. I'm happy.
Beautiful.
So that's
I'm so
what
happy
it's
for you.
about.
Honestly, I can really feel genuine happiness from you, from your energy, from your voice.
Thank you, darling.
You're radiating. Honestly,
She's glowing.
Yeah.
It's that post-surgery glow because
Yeah.
I have had a little different.
Yeah.
touch
Well, before we go into
recently.
surgeries, last question about your career is what's been the highlight of your career so far? When you look back at your last 10 years of your career,
Everything.
yeah, everything. Like, what's been the one moment when it was like, this was amazing, or like you know you have memories with a smile on your face.
I have a lot of memories though.
Yeah.
That's hard to pinpoint
Okay.
one. But
Let me top 3 if you want.
no, because then there's people involved and celebrities involved that I don't want to
Right,
name.
okay.
So I think the pinnacle point is, and actually talking about the windmill now has just kind of like reinvigorated it in my mind, is going to the bar at the windmill Soho, turning and being like, oh, I need another bottle of tequila, and like 3 a.m, like really crazy night, and turning around and seeing like a curated list of my favorite people in this city all laughing, dancing, and having like this moment, you know, like Evan twerking, you and Carmen with like glasses in your hand. And I had this kind of moment where I was just like, one, just overwhelmed with gratitude that everyone I love is in the same room and everyone's drinking for free. But then also I had this kind of moment of like, okay, you did this for them too. Like they can see that, you know? And like, I remember that moment, like, and I was like one eye shut, half twisted. And I don't even think I was. I think this was around the surgery point. So I was sober and just like fake drinking, like drinking vodka soda. And I looked across and I was like, holy hell, everyone I love is right here in this room. And oh my God.
Yeah, I'm crying too.
Yeah. Everyone in this room, and I love them. And
It's just so beautiful.
I've like opened this door to just having fucking everyone just have fun. Like, okay, cool, bitch, serve, work. Bam.
I didn't expect this answer. That's
Yeah.
so beautiful, Jacqui.
Yeah, it was really amazing.
And thank you for making us feel happy and safe.
It was a moment in time, right, girl?
Yeah.
It was good. It was
Yeah.
really good.
We have to
And-
recreate similar memories.
well, actually, I had this conversation recently, and
Yeah.
like, where are all those people now? Like there was tables everywhere. Like there was
Yeah.
tables at the box.
Yeah.
The club kids were about, and actually, when I disappeared from that, I almost like stepped away from essentially some of my like children, and yeah, we need to reignite London nightlife.
Yeah.
Maybe what's missing is me.
Yeah. If any club owners watching,
Any investors?
yes, because she
Any
wants to open her own
investors?
club.
we can move with that. You know, we can do some things. I know some people. I know
Well-
I know the right people. I know some good DJs.
You've got a CV. You've got the experience. You've got a charisma. You've got a talent. You've got a
Yeah.
contact. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Right here.
I'm also employed though. So I'm only free for like consultation, like consultancy work at present.
So that was your career. And now let's talk about more about your surgeries, because you mentioned you had your SRS.
Yeah.
How was it like?
Yes, I had SRS maybe 3 years ago now. And
I remember like it was a few months
yesterday.
ago. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, it went quick. Like the time went quick. I feel amazing. I feel amazing. And when I identified that I wanted to be a girl when I was little, when I was tiny, and when I explained it to my family through every kind of process of me talking to my mum about it and transness, it was written in my script. It was written in my what I wanted to have done. So to have that on the NHS as well, so go through the gender pathway and be awarded that, which I'm very thankful for. I paid a lot of tax in my life, so I feel like that's my bracket done.
Yeah.
To have that surgery, it changed my life in an essence of trans joy, but also in an essence of kind of like that was when a very pinnacle moment of where gender dysphoria became euphoria. And whatever was going to happen with the surgery, I just needed to go for it. And if I was going to die, if I was going to do this, it was written in my life that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
So whatever the outcome, we're doing it. We're doing it. And I had that 3 years ago. The recovery is brutal. You really have to stop. And as I mentioned, I'm a girl on the go.
Yeah.
And I like to be busy. So that was kind of like a moment in time where I realized that actually I kind of like being a bit slow sometimes.
While you were recovering.
While I was recovering, I kind of found a little bit of like solace, a little bit of peace in it. So I loved it. And I finally had like the body that I wanted, the anatomy that I envisioned myself with, different strokes for different folks. Everyone has a different path and a different one. But for me, that was kind of tick, boom. And the last 3 years, relearning dating with men, which we'll get into later on the Patreon.
Yes.
But that and rediscovering my body and rediscovering what ticks my box and flicks my bean.
Yeah.
Quite literally. Discovering that was a journey, and a journey that I was really excited, like really, really, really excited about being on and going on. And it's been fantastic. It's been fabulous.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations again, honestly.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy for you.
And then, on the topic of surgeries again, I've had my breast augmentation needs to be redone or taken out because
How long ago was that?
I think it was around 9 years ago now.
Yeah.
So
They take it out like 10 to 15
I think
years,
it's 10
right?
to 15.
Yeah.
And also, I've been on estrogen. I've been on HRT for a very long time.
Some growth.
Baby, some growth? Stop growth. Stop growth. Like, Jesus. I don't know if you can see on the camera. I don't know. I haven't seen behind the screen. But, mama, like, it needs to slow down. Like, it needs to calm down. What money well spent, but money well wasted when I didn't realize I was going to have this much growth. I also, very recently, 8 weeks on Friday, 8 weeks today.
8 weeks today.
8 weeks today, had facial feminization surgery. So I traveled to Paris.
Yeah.
I had my surgery with Dr. K. Samaya, and I had a type 3 brow reconstruction, shaved down, orbitoplasty with my eyelids, and mini upper facelift.
Nice.
And I have a little scar to prove it. And I also got a cheeky tracheal shave. Not that I had anything, but in my consultation with Dr. K. Samaya, he's amazing at French facial surgery, French facial clinic. He told me in the consultation, he said to me, okay, so we're working with a good structure here. Like your face is extremely effeminate. What brings you dysphoria? And I said to him, my brow bone, because it's for a puberty that I don't feel like I ever should have gone through, and I want to reverse, and tracheal shave. And he said, but you don't have a visible Adam's apple. Like, and I didn't have a visible Adam's apple. He said, why do you want this surgery? And I said, because I might be having FFS with you, But when I'm 55, I might also need a lower facelift. And little Mr. Adam is not going to come and get me when I'm 55 years old. So can we just do the upper facelift? And then can we just sort this out as well? And
Not the
then
Mr. Adam.
Mr. Adam coming to get me at 50, at the big old age of 55? I think not. I said, so let's just take care of that.
Yeah. How you feeling
Just
now?
in case. I feel amazing.
Yeah.
I feel really good. I feel
Yeah.
very happy, and I feel like
Complete? Do you feel complete? Do you feel...
I felt complete with vaginoplasty.
Vaginoplasty.
I felt complete with SRS, and then this is just like I said at the very beginning of the podcast. I am from a working class background, so I've earned and worked hard for a lot of my money. I've
Yeah.
never accepted a handout, not even from a sugar daddy. Wow. Yeah.
She's that bitch.
So
She's that hardworking.
yeah, I was the sugar daddy girl. I was the... No, I'm joking.
Reminds me of Shangela.
I was my own daddy, even when my father couldn't be. I worked really hard. And I kind of came to a point where, and I've said this to you in private as well, my bank balance looked okay. I was hitting zeros. I was good. I had money in the account. I was doing things. And I've always chased money as a form of success, my own personal form of success. Not
Yeah.
healthy, but it is what it is. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And everything was hitting zero. My credit rating was okay. It's good enough. And I was like, I'm going to take out a loan
Yeah.
and I'm going to go and get this surgery. Because do you know what? Never mind little me deserving the vaginoplasty, the medical transition, the physical, environmental, whatever, transition and being comfortable. Now you're going for brownie points. Now you're going for gold. Now you're going for platinum.
Yeah.
And I felt like I deserved it. So I went
love
and I
it.
did it. The recovery was brutal because I thought it was going to be like a boob job. And it's not. And it's literally quite literally a removal of part of your skull next to your brain. I don't know how else to
sounds
put that.
brutal.
Yeah, it sounds pretty
Yeah.
intense, right?
I'm
I
laughing
didn't-
because it just sounds
yeah,
brutal.
it was intense, and I kind of really downplayed it until I woke up and I was like, wow. But I love it, and I feel like I did the right things
Yeah.
for my face.
Yeah.
I could never change my chin because it's my mother's chin, and we're not out here erasing our genetics like that. Like that's, I will always my chin will always remind me of my mum.
Yeah.
But the one thing that got me and had me in a grip facially that triggered gender dysphoria was overhead lighting on the tube, trying to take a selfie and having a shadow
God.
here.
Yes.
And I was like, do you know what? If we're going for gold and we're going for platinum,
Yeah.
we're going to do
If
that.
I use the tube every day, I might as well just use it right.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need to come out on the tube every day anymore. I'm not going to be doing that.
Yeah.
So I bit the bullet and I went and did it. And my amazing, basically baby brother, gorgeous friend and housemate Ty came with me. And thank God he did, because it was much more intense than I thought. But
Yeah.
Paris treated me so well, and it will always have a gorgeous place in my heart. And never mind Dr. Bellringer, Dr. Kesamaya, I can't remember Dr. Zeki Jan in Turkey who did my boobs. I owe those men my life because I
Yeah.
feel comfortable in my skin, and it's elective surgery if it is or whatever. Some of it is mandatory,
Yeah.
and you know what? Reverting all the way back to the beginning of your first question, what makes you happy? I can finally say that I'm happy in myself physically. I'm gonna get in the gym a little bit more, but without that, that would be a struggle.
Yeah.
It would be a struggle, and these surgeries have really improved my quality of life, and I love
So
them.
happy for you.
Yeah.
And we will talk about your dating before and post-op
Oh,
on
SRS.
Patreon.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to hear about that. But
Yeah, let's
now,
do it.
last two questions.
Okay.
One question. What's been the most challenging times in your life so far?
Now, I feel like we're on a really good page and I don't want to bring it down, but the most challenging time for me was, and I touched on this, that when I moved to London, I was in a relationship. That relationship ended in domestic violence after 2 years. And I found myself at one point helpless, homeless, and not knowing what to do with not a big circle of and big support network around me in London. And I had some amazing friends at the time that really picked me up. But the most challenging thing in my life after moving to London and building something for like 2 years was then having it crumble and having nothing and rebuilding. And that was something to go through. It edited my relationship with men. It edited my relationship with how I viewed safety in the world and how I operated safely in the world. It was a huge challenge to overcome, but with therapy and with working hard and building these kind of like big support networks around me for myself and that I overcame it.
Yeah.
And actually I overcame it, and I succeeded something that was really hard. And in those dark moments where you're alone from domestic violence, I survived it. And those were really dark times and really awful conversations I had to have with myself about reasons why and this, that, the other. I got over that, and it didn't beat me. And I'm still like
Standing strong.
Yeah, and I'm still like chirpy, crazy, ridiculous Jacqui who has a smile and brings a smile into a room.
That's beautiful.
And I love it.
And that's how you're going to be remembered, because that's how you remembered.
Well, I hope I don't die
my
soon.
head. It sounded like it, right?
Yeah, and that's what we're gonna put on your tombstone.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and last question before we go. What do you wish everyone knew about trans women?
Do I wish they knew about trans women?
Yeah.
That we're just normal people. I feel like the empathy and the understanding and the empathy and understanding of trans people left the room. Like, I feel like in recent years, there's been real kind of like poignant moments where transphobia has been extremely ripe in mainstream media, in politics, and in the society as a whole. And society as a whole didn't show up. And I think that ignorance that I feel like sometimes we currently face needs to change. And what you need to understand is that we are just people living our lives exactly like you, like literally to the T at some points. Some of us are integrated in stealth in society, like we're really not the villains and we're really not these like creatures that people paint us out to be. Some people need to kind of get off their high horse and call it quits. Like, come on, get real. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jacqui. Thank you, Jacqui, for being here, for sharing your story. And I can't wait to go on Patreon and talk about the spicy stuff.
It's been a pleasure.
And the dating.
And now let's get into more pleasurable conversation. We're probably going to go too deep. It's us. We're friends.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, that was all for today, at least for the first part. And I'm so happy you're watching. Thank you so much. It means truly a lot. And I'm going to say goodbye with one of our slogans. Stuck in traffic, in a rush, just chill and tune in to Trans Crash. Take care.
Like modern straight men, modern everyday normal straight men are also down for pre-op or post-op trans women. If they're attracted to their femininity and they're attracted to their energy.
When in doubt, splash it out.
When in doubt, may your waters run clear. If you want to pitch me against cis women, I'm never going to be for that. The men that have done the work, the men that have been through at least 6 sessions of therapy. Oh my God, my door is open.
Do you have any horror stories from your dating life?
Keep that on Patreon. Don't get me saying that's on fucking public. And I think that you should never lower or dim your light or lower yourself to men that are not in your caliber. Some of the most beautiful people inside and out I know are trans. I think that if you're attracted to trans women, if you're gynosexual and you're attracted to femininity and you come across a trans woman, or if you're looking for a trans woman, or if you're seeking for a trans woman, go for it, because you will not regret it.
He comes back to the table and he's like, it's better if you go home. Yeah.